At 64, the tragedy of Heather Locklear is beyond heartbreaking. Because behind that beautiful smile and the glamorous Hollywood life lies a story filled with pain, struggle, and a fight that nearly cost her everything. What happened to Heather Locklear will leave you shocked, heartbroken, and questioning how someone who once had it all could lose it all so fast. Do you really know the woman behind the fame? In the 1980s and 90s, Heather Locklear was America's golden girl. Her roles in Dynasty, T.J., Hooker, and Melrose Place turned her into one of television's most beloved faces. She was stunning, talented, and seemed untouchable. Every camera loved her, every headline praised her, and every dreamer wanted to be her. But fame has a dark side, and Heather would soon discover that Hollywood's lights can burn just as easily as they shine. At the height of her fame, Heather's personal life seemed like a fairy tale. She married rock legend Tommy Lee of Motley Crue, and the world watched as beauty met rebellion. But behind the cameras, their marriage was chaos, filled with fights, jealousy, and emotional storms that could never be calmed. When it finally fell apart, Heather's heart was shattered. She tried to rebuild, to find love again, and in 1994 she married Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora. For a while, it seemed like the happiness she'd longed for had finally arrived. They welcomed a daughter, Ava, and Heather believed she had found peace. But peace, as she would soon learn, doesn't last forever. As the years passed, cracks began to show. The pressures of fame, the constant tabloid scrutiny, and the endless Hollywood gossip began to eat away at her. When her marriage to Sambora also crumbled in 2007, it was another devastating blow. She wasn't just losing a husband, she was losing herself. The heartbreak triggered a downward spiral that would soon become one of Hollywood's most public tragedies. The headlines became cruel. Reports of Heather's struggles with anxiety, depression, and substance abuse began to dominate every tabloid cover. The woman who had once been the picture of perfection was now caught in a storm of her own pain. She checked into rehab multiple times, trying desperately to reclaim the life that had once brought her joy. But every time she stood up, life seemed to knock her back down harder. But the tragedy didn't stop there. In 2018, police were called to her home multiple times after domestic disputes and emotional breakdowns. Each incident chipped away at her reputation and her spirit. The glamorous star who once graced magazine covers was now a headline for all the wrong reasons. Behind every photo, behind every court appearance, was a woman desperately trying to find her way out of the darkness. Yet even in her lowest moments, Heather refused to give up. She entered treatment once again, determined to fight back. And for a time, it seemed like she was winning. Friends said she had found calm in solitude, spending time with her daughter and focusing on recovery. She returned to the public eye briefly, her smile gentle but distant, proof that she was still fighting. But the loneliness still lingered. The fear of being forgotten, the regret of lost years, and the weight of all that she'd endured still followed her everywhere. Those who know her say Heather continues to battle her demons every single day. She has tried to find stability, to hold on for the sake of her daughter, and to make peace with the past. But emotional scars like hers don't fade easily. Behind every forced smile and hopeful interview is a woman who has been through hell, and is still trying to find her way back to the light. So at 64, the tragedy of Heather Locklear is more than just a story of lost fame. It's the story of a woman who gave her heart to a world that cheered when she rose and turned its back when she fell. A woman who went from red carpets to rehab centers, from magazine covers to police reports, all while trying to hold on to her last piece of hope. Because sometimes, the saddest stories in Hollywood aren't about the ones who never made it, but about the ones who did, and paid the price for it. Heather Locklear's journey is a chilling reminder that behind the fame, fortune, and flashing lights, there are real people, fragile hearts who only wanted to be loved and remembered. And now, as time moves forward and the spotlight fades, one question remains: can Heather Locklear ever truly find peace? Or will her name forever be remembered not for the roles that made her famous, but for the heartbreak that nearly destroyed her?